So, hi everyone. So, in our last session, I covered topic on functions of management. I covered what are the various functions associated with a manager, or I can broadly say management. So, in this particular session, we shall try to cover the next topic with respect to module 1. So, in the first three sessions, I gave some brief insights with respect to what actually management is, what are all the basic concepts you need to be aware of in order to become a successful manager. So, in the third session, I covered the brief explanation with respect to module 1 and module 3. In the fourth session, as I had already told, I covered things with respect to the functions of management. So in this particular session, we shall try to cover one more important topic from exam point of view, which is levels of management. Are there any different levels with respect to management? Basically, we can say the levels of management can be broadly divided into three different levels. It can be higher level, or I can say top level management. Next comes the middle level management, and the last one is the first line or lower level management. So these are the three level of management. So then you might ask a question whether different levels of management will be doing different functionality. The answer will be no, because most levels of management will perform the same management functions with slight differences. We shall look into the differences in the coming slides. So as you can see in the first point, almost all the managers will perform same functions of management. It can be planning, it can be organizing, it can be directing, it can be controlling, and so on. So all these management functions will be performed at all levels of management. It can be top level, it can be middle level, or it can be the first line supervisory or lower level management. But there are some skills which needs to be associated with different levels of management. Top level management people will be having some other skills, whereas middle level management people needs to be specialized with some skills, and also lower level management people needs to be specialized with skills which may not be present in top level management. We shall look into the different skills of different levels of management. So your top level management mainly consists of your chairmen. It might be presidents, it might be company vice presidents, it might be the CEO of a company, just like Mark Zuckerberg for Facebook. So these are all the people who are found at top level management. So this particular set of people or kind of people, they usually make policies for the company. They will set some goals for the company, how they will see themselves in the next 5 years, how they will see themselves in the next 10 years. So these are all the kinds of decisions that will be made by top level management people. So they will be setting some policies for the company, for the organization. They will be setting some goals, and also they will be setting some targets, which are the targets that needs to be achieved by the year end. So what kind of profit they need to gain by the year end, what kind of profit they are expecting from this particular project. So these are all the major decisions that will be taken at the top level management. The people who are involved in top level management are as mentioned in the slide. So this particular set of people, they should possess conceptual and design skills. These two are the major skills which needs to be present in any top level management people or in any top level management individual. Because rather than having technical skills with respect to any subject, they need to be having a overview. They need to be having a conceptual view, in the sense that they need to know how the market is behaving, what are all the demands with respect to the market, how we can cope up with the demands of the market, how actually the technology is evolving. Those are all the kinds of things the top level management needs to be aware of. So they need to be aware with respect to the conceptual skills. And also, if there are any major changes which needs to be incorporated into an organization, such a change can be called as some design change. So overall structure of an organization, how they proceed with the project, whether that needs to be changed, some model needs to be changed. Those are all the things, the broader changes that can be done with respect to top level management people. this top level management people mainly should possess two major skills. They are conceptual skills as well as the second one is design skills. So when it comes to middle level management, it can be your finance manager, sales manager, or it can be your team lead, project manager, each departmental heads. So those people comes under middle level managers. So these managers mainly should be having some technical skills along with some conceptual skills, but not to an extent of your top level management people, because top level management people need to have a broader view with respect to conceptual skills, but that is not the case with respect to middle level management people. So then comes the last level of management, which is your lower level management. These managers will usually be having skills uh, which are very much proficient in technical skills. They should be very much proficient technically. So your low level management managers can be your foreman or it can be your supervisors. So these are the three major levels of management you can see in any organization. It can be top level management, it can be middle level management, or it can be lower level management. Your top level management consists of chairman, president, vice president, CEO, etc. Your middle level management consists of your managers such as finance manager, marketing manager, departmental head, personnel manager, etc. Whereas your lower level management consists of supervisors and foremen. Now we shall see the different skills at various levels of management. What are all the different skills that needs to be very much proficient in any management level? So basically there are three major skills with respect to management. First, we shall try to understand what are those three major skills, how those three major skills will work. Then we shall see which skill is required at which level of management. So what skill is more required at which level of management. So the first major skill is conceptual skills. What actually is conceptual skills? Conceptual skill is nothing but seeing your organization in a broader view. That means I can give some examples with respect to conceptual skills. How your organization might look in the future. What will be the growth of the organization 5 years down the line? How much profit I can expect from the organization in 10 years down the line. So you should abstract the things. You should not think in terms of concrete ways. You should not be using any data. So you'll be just be taking a overview of the future with respect to qualitative aspects. There won't be any quantitative aspects with respect to taking conceptual decisions. And also you can look into the workforce of an organization. Are there any extra workforce which needs to be added to the organization? Is the workforce in the organization enough to compete with the market? Those are all the things that needs to be taken care of. And also, is there any creative or innovative ideas which needs to be taken up by the organization? Presently ಏನು ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಾಕಾ ಅಥವಾ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇನೋವೇಟಿವ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾ, ಹೊಸದ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾ? ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ನಿಮ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಏನೋ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋವಿಡ್, ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಡ್ರಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್. ಈ ತರ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾನೇನಾದ್ರು ನನ್ನ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾ, ವರ್ಕ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾ? These are all the things which comes under a category called as conceptual skills. So ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, there will be those people will usually be top level management people. So they are the people who will be taking such type of decisions. Such skills are called as conceptual skills. So the next type of skill is human relation skills. As the name itself suggests, how effectively you can communicate with an individual. ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ದಿಸ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್. You should recognize the feelings and sentiments of a particular individual so that you can give proper guidance to him ಅಥವಾ proper measures na ತಗೋಬಹುದು. So if you can understand the feelings and sentiments of a particular individual, then you will be positioned in order to give proper guidance and proper plans you can set out for that particular individual. Avaga it can lead to growth of a team, and ultimately it will lead to the growth of an organization. And also you should you should be in a position in order to analyze your own plans. You have taken a plan in order to proceed with the project. If there are any defects with respect to that particular project or that particular concepts, then you should analyze those things and you should correct them in the future. This is called as self-analysis. This will lead to a useful attitude as a manager. So these are all the skills or the categories which comes under human relation skills. And the last skills any manager can possess or should possess is technical skills. So we looked into conceptual skills, we looked into human relation skills. Conceptual skills is nothing but taking a broader view with respect to any project or organization. Human relation skill is nothing but how you maintain interaction or communication with respect to a particular individual. Whereas your technical skills is completely concerned with the implementation part, how you are implementing that particular project, how proficient enough you are in that particular subject, how technically sound enough you are in that particular subject, that plays a major role. These technical skills should be very proficient in lower level management people, because they are the ones who will be implementing your project, not the top level management people. So they should be technically sound enough in order to implement any project. So these skills is majorly present in lower level management people. So as you can see in the shown diagram, we are mainly having three types of skills: conceptual, human relation skills, and technical skills. So, and also we are having different levels of management: top level, middle level, and lower level management. As you can see from the diagram, the top level management people, we should have more conceptual skills, whereas they will be having less amount of technical skills. They don't need to be technical sound enough to an extent of lower level management people. As you can see in the diagram, lower level management people should be very much technically sound enough. They should have lot of proficiency in the technical expertise, whereas their conceptual skills is limited. They don't need to have a broader view of an organization. Conceptual skills are ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು necessity ಇರಲ್ಲ. Whereas in middle level management, you can see, as you can see, there should be equal distribution of all the three skills: conceptual skills, human relation skills, technical skills, because these people should have interactions with lower level management people as well as top level management people. So they need to have some human relation skills maintained. So in the same way, there is proper distribution of conceptual and technical skills. So these are the three major levels of management, and also the skills level they should possess in their respective level of management. So this is the first topic with respect to this particular presentation session. So now we shall move on to the second topic, which is roles of a manager. What are all the different roles a manager should possess in order to be a successful manager in his organization? Are there any broader categorization? Apart from the broader categorization, can we divide that categorization into some more subparts? So these are all the things we shall look into in this particular topic. So basically, a manager should possess three major roles, or I can say the broader categorization for the roles of a manager should be divided into three main parts. They are interpersonal roles, informational roles, and decisional roles. So in interpersonal roles, it is sub-categorized into some other major parts. In three major parts, they are figurehead, leader, and liaison. Now we shall look into each of these subcategorization in detail. In interpersonal role, the first subcategory is figurehead. What does figurehead indicate? The manager should perform some informal duties. What are the informal duties? Such as attending function, taking some delegatories for lunch. For example, in an organization called as Infosys, they have developed some new product. That product needs to be showcased in any functions, in any conferences, or in any journal. So in that case, a manager should be in a position in order to attend the function, and also you should showcase his product in an effective manner. So that is called as informal, or I can say when there is a meet between the CEOs of a particular company, when there is a meet between the managers, it is some kind of informal meeting. So such an informal meeting has to be attended by the manager. So when the manager takes upon this particular role, he will be called as a figurehead. Suppose there will be some clients who will be coming from US in order to look into the project work which has been happening. ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು US ಇಂದ ಬರ್ತವೆ ಅಂದಾಗ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದೆಮ್ ಟು ಲಂಚ್, ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದೆಮ್ ಟು ಸಮ್ outside environment so that they feel comfortable. This kind of things that will be done by a manager. Such a manager is considered as figurehead. Antavna ನಾವು figurehead ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. So the next kind of role is called as leader. What do you mean by a leader? A manager who motivates his employee. Usually employees might get demotivated due to extra stress or strain with respect to the work related pressure they will be getting. So in such a case, it is the duty of a manager, or it is the role of a manager to motivate them in order to take up it easily or to work more, so that he motivates the employees in such a way it is aligned with the needs and goals of an organization. ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಗೋಲ್ಸ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದ್ರ ವೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋ ತರ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ನ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುವುದು. such a manager is called as a leader. Anta type of manager na ನಾವು leader anta ಕರೀಬಹುದು. So and the last type of interpersonal role a manager can take is called as liaison. So what is liaison? Usually a manager should not be restricted to his organization. So your manager should develop contacts outside his organization, because whenever you are developing some products or whenever you are doing some projects, it should not be restricted to its one organization. In such a case, the networking aspect of that particular manager is diminished. You won't be having any networking. So if there is no networking, there is no proper marketing for the product you will be developing. That's why a manager should always have contacts with respect to people outside organization. Such contacts will be very much useful for his organization during times of any help that the organization needs. Organization ಏನಾದ್ರು help ಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ outside people in the contacts ಗಳನ್ನ develop ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗ that will be a major help for that particular organization. So these are the three major types of interpersonal roles. Figurehead, so it mainly represents a manager who attends informal meetings or who attends informal functions and also who takes people for lunch. Leader, it represents a manager who motivates and encourages his employees, aligned mainly with the needs and goals of the organization. Liaison, a manager who will develop some contacts or who will cultivate some contacts with the people outside of his organization. So these are the three major subcategory roles with respect to interpersonal roles. So the next type of roles is informational roles. So as the name itself suggests, it mainly deals with some sort of information exchange. How you can exchange information with your subordinates, how you can exchange information with your superiors. Those are all the things that will be considered in informational roles. In informational role, there are three major subcategories. They are monitor, disseminator, and spokesman. What does a monitor represent? A monitor should monitor the environment he is working in. So through his personal contact, not officially, but through his personal contact, he should collect some information. How the work is going on, whether all the employees are giving justice to the project, whether all employees are making use of the resources properly, whether there is any deviation with respect to the work which is going on. Those are all the things which needs to be monitored by a manager who works as a monitor. But this has to be done informally with the help of personal contacts. There should not be any formal assessment. The next one is disseminator. The manager should pass the information from the top level to all its subordinates. So in a team, there are any changes with respect to with respect to the organization structure or anything like that, that information needs to be passed upon by the manager to all his subordinates. Or subordinates ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೇ information change ಆಗಿದ್ರು that needs to be passed upon. Next, the manager can also work as a spokesman. What do you mean by spokesman? with respect to the team, how the team is going on, what are all the goals the team has set up, what are all the goals the organization has set up. This all information needs to be communicated by the manager to the superiors. So top level management ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, CEOs ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, ಚೇರ್ಮನ್, ವೈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ನ ಕೆಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಗೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. So this information can also be communicated to the shareholders, because they also act as part of the organization, they also act as owner for the organization. ಸೊ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಏನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರು ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಬಾರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಏನೇನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿನ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ that particular manager should pass on to the superiors as well as to the shareholders. So these are all the three major categories or subcategories you can see under informational role. He can be a monitor, that means to collect information about the environment, to collect information about the subordinates through his personal contacts. He can be a disseminator to pass on the information from the superiors to the subordinates. He can be a spokesman, where you will be collecting information from the subordinates and you will be passing on the information to superiors and shareholders. So these are all the three major subcategory of roles you can see under informational roles. And the last type of roles for the roles of a manager is decisional roles. So in decisional roles, there are four major subcategories. There are entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and the last one is negotiator. What do you mean by entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is someone who looks for new innovations, who looks for new ideas. So your manager should work as an entrepreneur. You should not be stagnant enough. If the market needs some change, if the market needs some new products, the manager should be in a position to innovate something new, to take up new ideas. So whenever you take up new ideas or innovate something new continuously, then it will ultimately lead to the development of a new product. So when you are introducing new product to the market which matches the needs of the market, then your organization also grows to a greater extent. So your manager should be in a position to implement, to innovate something new, and also you should implement the new ideas which has been innovated. So it should be the role of a manager in case of an entrepreneur. And also your manager should be a disturbance handler. Suppose if there are any conflicts with respect to the organization or with respect to public or within an organization, if there are any conflicts with respect to any of the team members or with respect to any of the employees, so such all conflicts, for example, if the market suddenly falls down, if the economy suddenly goes down, it is some unanticipated problems. You were not anticipating such problems will occur. In such a case, your manager should be in a position in order to solve those problems. You should act as a problem solver, or I can say you should act as a disturbance handler, so that your organization still keeps moving forward even if there are some problems within or outside the organization. Your manager should work as a resource allocator. That means you should properly allocate the work and delegate authority among his subordinates. There should not be any impartial work allotment. You should fairly allocate all the work to his subordinates, and you should give authority to them in order to proceed with the work. So when he does proper allocation based upon the skills any subordinates is having, then we can expect maximum output from that particular subordinate. So your manager should also act as a resource allocator. Then your manager should also be a negotiator. What do you mean by negotiator? If there is any strikes in an employee union, those all strikes, so your manager should talk with the leader of the employee union and you should make some negotiation. There should be some agreements. And also if there are any problems an employee of an organization is facing, then those problems needs to be properly addressed. So you should not give up those problems, because it will affect the team performance, ultimately it will lead to the organization growth getting hampered. So you should be in a position in order to address all these problems, and also you should be in a position to make proper agreements with respect to employees as well as with the clients. So these are all the things a manager should negotiate when he is working as a manager. So the major four roles a manager should take when he is making some decisions are: you should become an entrepreneur, you should be a disturbance handler, you should be a resource allocator, and the last one is you should negotiate in some of the problems that an organization might face. So with respect to roles of a manager, there are three major roles: interpersonal, informational, and decisional roles. So in interpersonal roles, there are three major subcategories: figurehead, where the manager should be in a position to attend some informal meetings; leader, he should motivate his employees; liaison, he should develop contacts outside his organization; information loads, monitor. The environment in which he is working should be monitored, and he should be in a position to collect information from his personal contact. There should not be any formal assessment. He should be a disseminator, where the manager passes information from the higher level to his subordinates. He should be a spokesman, where the manager passes information from the lower level or the subordinates to his superior, and also to the shareholders. So you should also be an entrepreneur. You should take up new ideas and implement them. You should be a disturbance handler. If there are any unanticipated problems, you should be in a position to solve those problems. You should properly allocate works and delegate authority, resource allocator. If there are any strikes or any problems of employees which needs to be addressed, then he needs to act as a negotiator. So these are all the things you need to remember with respect to roles of a manager. And with respect to levels of management, there are three major levels: top level, middle level, and lower level. And all levels of management will have different set of skills. As you can see from the diagram, top level management needs to be very much proficient in conceptual skills, whereas lower level management people needs to be very much proficient in technical skills. So watch all your presentation sessions. So far we have covered 5 presentation sessions. The first 3 were general and syllabus brief explanation. Then the fourth and fifth presentation session was with respect to the syllabus. So also make a notes of what are all the things which are covered in the presentation session. So still, if you're getting any doubts, you can call or ping me with respect to any of the presentation session. Thank you.